So today we have our first official guest. I have a list of people who are eventually going to be on here.
Yes, we do.
But the first one to make it and not flake out. No one's flaked out so far. I'm starting drama for no reason. Mr. Mario Alvarez. Do you have any an official handle you're going by now? Like in terms of
Yeah, what's your thing?
What you want to be
Disaster
called?
Man,
I mean, we're gonna do plugs later, so don't do that now. But
I don't know.
in terms of just be Mario.
Yeah.
Okay, there, Mario.
As well.
Mario's
here.
He just I thought John was just about to spill a drink all over my carpet.
Yep.
So, we are here today because we're gonna do, as you already guys know in the title, because you guys can read the description, is Avengers Correctioncast. Because, as we know, John was wrong about a lot. I'm joking. I mean, I'm probably not joking.
No, you're probably not.
But we are here to discuss corrections. I correct myself pretty much every single podcast on the last story, basically.
Yeah.
But we're going to go ahead and do that. But before all that, weekly recap. I know we don't normally do it on here, but with a guest, I think it's more appropriate.
No, I agree.
So, customary Mario, what's going on? How are you doing? Anything? What's been going on with you? New games? New anything? Anything? What's been going? Reading anything?
Hey guys. No, not really. Shit. But I've been reading books. I joined a book club for some reason. I was
Book Club Mario. Let's do this.
high and drunk in Colorado, and me and my friends were like, let's start a book club. And I'm like, yeah. And then a year later, we finally started it.
That was the best ideas to start it that way. Right.
Hey, ideas coming to be are completely already a step up from a bad. You have a cringy. Not that this is a cringy idea, but you can have a cringy idea. But a cringy idea, I don't understand. I'm not making it. I feel like I'm calling it cringy. I'm not doing that. An idea of no specific nature that actually comes to be is still a better idea than one that just stayed an idea. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So
Most
that's
ideas
interesting.
Don't go anywhere
Because, as we all know, all three of us have a lot of drinking experience. This would make one of these days. Okay, that's another idea for off. We'll talk about that.
We'll get into it, man.
Yeah. As John just told me, he wants to kind of wean off of that. I am like, let's get fucked up and do a podcast. No, but we've all had experiences where everyone always knows that ideas that come from drinking don't always manifest into anything. Usually manifests into nothing.
Yeah.
And to fuck all by the next day, right?
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Has it been consistently going on?
I missed the first meeting because it was on a weekday. I was at work.
That's understandable. That's adult should understand that that's a thing.
Yeah. Second meet I made because they shifted around to a Saturday for me, so that worked out.
Yeah, you got weekends off. You're
Yeah.
Mr. Lucky on that one.
Yeah. So I think I haven't even started the third book yet. It's in my bag.
What is the third book?
All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr? Doerr?
Well, regardless,
Yeah.
that book. Do you guys have a specific theme in books that you guys try to stick with? Like X kind of novel or whatever?
Nah, it's just rotating. I think next month, after we do this one, it's going to be my turn to choose a book.
Okay, so you guys are doing the rotating choosing. And
Yeah.
how many people are in the book club?
Hold on, give me a second.
No, that's fine. Think. I got all the time in the world. I'm just talking so people don't think the podcast stopped.
7-ish?
That's pretty good.
That's solid.
It's already hard to do a podcast with two people.
Yeah.
So 7, and you guys all meet up, right? This isn't some Skype meme?
Yeah, last time we went to the main dude's house. I'll say his name's Justin.
That's hard to get 7 people, 7 adults,
Together.
7 consenting adults.
No, there's only 4 of us at that time.
4 consenting adults? That's hard to do.
One was the dude Justin put together. That was his fiance. Then some other dude, and then me.
Nice.
Okay. Hey, there you go. But yeah, so that's been going good. Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what else? Anything else? Keep thinking, Mario. You got another interesting life than you let on. You didn't tell anyone. You just said you had nothing, and then you actually had this idea that's actually something going on.
Yeah, there you go.
I've been watching Doom Patrol a lot. I'm obsessed with it.
You told me Doom Patrol is good. So this is something that'd be more appropriate for the other podcast, but since it's comic book related, I want to say that this is fine for me to do this here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the point of the podcast, but I still think it's an interesting topic that I do want to talk, since I have both of you guys here, is this not hiding. Okay, because DC, I said okay like a million times already. DC is a thing where they have their exclusives. People see that, and I'm just talking general public, not like anyone particularly that I know of, but in like Reddit and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
People will see something like Doom Patrol or any other Titans or whatever else on DC exclusively, almost like a paywall, whereas something like Netflix having an exclusive, whether it be Bates Motel's not an exclusive on there, but fucking
Umbrella Academy.
Bingo. Whatever, right? I like how I just totally fucking I watched so many Netflix Luke Cage and whatever else. Those are Netflix exclusives, right?
Yeah,
they were.
And with were got them. But with that being the case, it's kind of interesting how people just see that as it's a Netflix exclusive, and then people hear about like Doom Patrol and their minds immediately shift to they're being dicks, and or like how Star Trek is an exclusive to whatever the fuck.
I'll never pay for CBS All Access. I really want to watch Discovery, but
I've heard it's great.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah, Twilight Zone. Yeah.
Oh, Twilight Zone. Yeah. See, and stuff like that. But it's interesting where the divide comes from. Do you think it's purely because you have Netflix already, so you don't consciously think about the fact that you paid all the time? Or is there really a separation between certain... You have to have a certain amount of clout or a certain amount of content to not be considered just hoarding a few things behind a paywall?
Neither. I think Netflix initially offered more, and these upstart different services only started because they saw the popularity that Netflix had. Netflix had all the Marvel movies originally,
right? And then before that, they only had DVDs.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, okay, I knew. No, but I think that, going into that, the Disney service that you have to use now to watch the Marvel movies, not a fan. Not about it, which sucks. So I'm actually taking the rich man's way out. I'm just going to buy all the Marvel movies that I want to see.
Well, if you think about it overall, it's actually more economical to do it that way probably than to keep paying for a service. Right?
Exactly.
True. They are putting out original content, too. They're doing The Mandalorian.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
It's tough, right? But... Okay, yeah, no, I see y'all's point. I think it is fair to say then that people only see it that way just because they're still young and upstarts, and then who knows. I guess you can't blame someone for wanting to get a piece of the pie. You kind of see how, for example, we talked about on the other podcast, this is definitely off topic, but we talked about how PlayStation is pulling the ability for third-party retailers to sell digital versions of their games. So you know how you can buy a digital download code from Amazon or GameStop or whatever?
Yeah.
They're stopping that. Because they realize, why am I giving a kick out to these guys? I don't fucking need them. Just tell everyone to come to the PlayStation store and do that.
Yeah.
So I guess this is kind of a version of that, where these, whether it's Marvel or DC or whoever, they're kind of like, hey, these are our properties. Let's get the full deal. Let's,
Exactly.
Yeah. Aquaman came out in digital a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I'm going to buy it on Prime, because I've been buying all my movies on Amazon Prime.
Nice, yeah. The digital world.
Yeah, but apparently Warner Bros. Pulled all their content from Prime, so unless you already bought it, it's
That's
not
wild.
there for
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't hear about that.
Wow.
For me to watch Aquaman, I had to buy it through Google Video, and I'm watching it on the YouTube app on a TV.
See, that's another thing that gets to me, is having all these different apps that I have
That's
to
what I was going to say.
log into.
It's super, and I hate to keep referencing our other podcasts because I feel like that's like people are just like, you're trying to plug your other shit. But it is true, though. We talked about something very similar, and this kind of shows you the similarities between the video game world and the movie and the comic book media world sometimes, is the fact that it's like with video games, Epic Games, it wants to have Fortnite and all their other franchises. Yeah, there's many others. But they want all their franchises on their own client. Epic Games wants to do their own Epic Games store. They want to pull their stuff from Steam and then do their own Epic Games store. And then now, EA is really they really want to do the same thing and just have everything on Origin. But now you're going to have the Ubisoft launcher. This is for if you play on PC anyways.
Yeah.
You're going to have the Ubisoft launcher, Origin launcher, Steam, and then you're going to have Epic Games, and then now Bethesda has their own. You're going to have Blizzard notoriously has their own. Battle.net is explicitly its own thing,
Yep.
and so on and so forth. And I can go on from there. But now to play all these games you want to play, you have to have like 7, 8, 9, 10 different clients, right? And it really seems like the movie and TV show streaming services are starting to go that way. And it's just why? Like, it sucks. Like, I did try out a few of the other streaming services like Showtime and HBO to see if I wanted to get any of those. HBO was the only one I really found to be worth the bang for its buck. HBO's got a lot of good shit on there.
Their content is
independent
top
service.
tier.
And I do like the fact that you can just go ahead and pay $15 a month to have it and not need a cable subscription or anything like that. I love the fact that there's that separation.
Yeah.
But the point being is, at this time already, I have one app, and these are all paid apps. one for my Korean stuff. I have Hulu and Netflix. I have Crunchyroll. I have, you know what I'm saying? I already have at least 8 streaming services on my phone. And if I had unlimited dollars or more budget towards something I want to do with that, I would have the DC one. It really does seem interesting. I do really want to check it out.
The whole animated back catalog. They've got a comic reader.
That's really cool.
Apparently, they're updating it to where it's like every DC comic ever is going to be on there soon.
What is this now?
DCU.
And it sucks because that's going to be app number 9 or 10, and I really do want to,
Yeah,
but it's making me just think like, God damn it! I wish they could just all have the streaming service, instead of this nonsense. But I don't know. We'll wrap up that. Any thoughts on that subject? Do you guys see a problem with it, or do you guys see it's fair to get a piece of the pie so you don't mind having 20 streaming apps on your phone?
This is going a little more off-kilter. I think it's funny the way that all these services are diversifying, because I remember a couple of years ago people were complaining about, like, in the business world, how, like, Amazon's consolidating everything. You're killing small businesses. Walmart, same thing.
So on and so forth.
Yeah, exactly. You get that argument. But now here we have all these small businesses, per se, and the market is diversified, but people are complaining because, now it's too much. There's too many options. Just consolidate everything into one, so I don't have to have all. It's these kind things.
You're right. It's kind of the opposite of that.
Yeah, but and I'm in that boat. I liked it when I could just go to 1 or 2 apps. And
at one point I really was just using Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah, same.
Then came Crunchyroll. Then came whatever else.
Right.
What are you, Mario? Does it bother you at all?
Kind of. But what really sells me on this stuff is the original content. Like.
So basically, you're cool with it as long as they're providing something that's worth your money and time. Which obviously that sounds like it should be just a given, but there are services out there that aren't really giving you what you're paying for.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo Switch's online service right now. I want there to be more because they could. Tetris 99 is great and all that stuff, but they really could be giving you more. Like Xbox Live and PlayStation, just the free games you get from either service alone is already worth the $50 a year. Because they give you at least a $50 game every few months.
Oh yeah, PlayStation kills it in that regard. Yeah,
and they kind of each have tagged out in that regard. But so I get what you're saying. So it's not always a given, because I already know someone out there is going to be like, well, duh, isn't that you pay for it? There's tons of people who are paying for a service that isn't really giving them what they probably should be getting.
Yeah.
So you're on board with it. As long as you have 10 plus apps that you're paying for, but you're happy with what you're getting, you're totally fine with it.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, it's specifically the original content. If, Netflix weren't making Umbrella Academy or...
Which was so good. I just recently watched that.
Or whatever else that they made.
Yeah, right. Hemlock Grove.
Yeah, I don't watch that many movies. I'll watch a small set of movies over and over and over again, but I'm not going to watch I'll spend my time looking at Netflix. Yeah. Just looking like, no, I don't want to watch that. Don't want to watch that. Don't know what this is.
I add a shit ton of stuff to my list, and then I fuck off.
Same.
Yeah, same.
I have a big list of shit I'm never going to touch.
Yeah.
As far as the DC universe goes, I got it because I was really interested about Titans. Titans all right.
Oof.
That's the thing. It looked rough to me, but I think it really is not fair for me to say.
I'm definitely going to be an apologist for it.
Okay.
It's not good, I know it, but I was like, yeah, it's all right, cool, I'll rock with it.
It's just why make it realistic?
If you had to compare Titans to a DC or Marvel movie, where would you say it stands on the spectrum of quality? Is it Suicide Squad? Is it the original Hulk movie? Is it
original quality or tone?
In terms of quality.
Quality.
Like when you say it's okay, how everyone has different levels of what's okay. I'm just curious what you would equate to it, just so someone can be like, okay, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Is it Thor 2?
The low end.
No,
of
Thor
the
2
MCU.
is utterly forgettable. I cannot remember a thing about it.
Loki died again.
Yeah. The recap in Ragnarok was way better than the whole movie.
It actually was, right?
I love Matt Damon.
Yeah. Damn, I don't know where I would rank it as far as a movie. Like,
okay, well, let's make it a little easier. I made that a bit convoluted. On a scale of 1 to 10, on the Mario scale. So if you guys don't know Mario, well, that's too bad. You guys will never know. Or maybe you will. I don't know. In this turn of this podcast, you probably will. But if you had to rate it, what would you give it on the Mario scale of 1 to 10?
The Mario scale, it's a 7. To a regular person, that's probably a 4.
Wow.
Interesting.
Okay.
So you're saying you're a little nicer than...
Yeah, like I said, I'm an apologist for it.
Okay.
If any of the other original content, like I said, I'm obsessed with Doom Patrol. It is a million times way better. Brendan Fraser's the best robot is everything.
If they can give you 3 more Doom Patrol quality stuff, you're more than all in for continuing with it.
Yeah. They haven't shown anything for Swamp Thing yet. That's the next show in May.
I'm excited for that.
Ooh, yeah, I love Swamp
Thing. I'm so excited about that. But they haven't shown anything yet, so I don't know what to...
Right, well, yeah.
A little Dark Justice.
And to kind of wind this down, to end DC Cast, what is the thing about Titans that you would say, even as a sympathizer for it, that is not good to you? What makes it that it's, even for you, it's not that great, even not being hypercritical?
It's kind of a miserable show. It'll go to dark places, but it won't say anything about that.
It kind of is just like, you're heading to a destination, but you don't know why?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair enough.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Or Doom Patrol.
Me, I just thought that the pre-production leaks, which is I know everyone, it's one of the worst things you can judge anything on is a pre-production selfie or some shit like that. But do the characters look any better than they did in those initial leaks that everyone kind of got up in arms about?
The only person who has a costume is Robin. Apparently the last episode was in production, the second to last episode. There was like an episode they haven't aired that was supposed to be the actual season finale where at least Raven and Starfire got costumes.
Oh.
But they cut it at whatever episode that was.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like there's a future for Titans?
I mean, the season 2 is coming. It's going into production like really soon. It'll be out, I think, maybe before the end of the year.
Okay.
They've cast Deathstroke and Jericho, not Chris Jericho.
Break the walls down! I would love to have Chris Jericho on here.
It's
fucking great.
It's Bob from La Bamba as Deathstroke.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to get in on that.
I kind of want... Meme. Right.
That's interesting.
Okay, I'm done.
Alright guys, so DC Cast is over. Let's get into it. Mario will have you open it up. Avengers, we're all pretty hyped for it, obviously, on different levels. I'm probably the most casual, but Mario has been my residential comic guy for forever, and Mr. John here does know a good amount too. Although, according to Mario, not quite as much as he thinks.
Mario
Mario
has a notebook here with correct.
I was gonna say he has the book of Ackchyually is in Mario's hands at the moment.
Yeah.
So let's just to keep it, let's start it with something. What is some of the thoughts? Here we go, John's Judgment Day.
Shit.
T2 is the best one.
Alright, Stormbreaker is a hammer that exists in comics.
Okay.
It's not an axe. The axe was like in the Ultimate Comics. I don't remember what it's called. I'm not even sure if that was Mjolnir.
Oh, right, yeah, because I had asked on the podcast, is the axe an actual thing? And you said it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go
ahead.
Stormbreaker is a hammer, but it belongs to Beta Ray Bill.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Ooh, yeah, I didn't know.
I know you love Beta Ray Bill. That's one of the only things I know about Beta Ray Bill is that you love it.
See, I don't even know who that is.
Thor Horse?
He should have been in Ragnarok, right?
Yeah, so the big tower in Ragnarok and the alien planet has
John,
like all those faces.
While he's saying this, look up Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah.
There's all these faces on it, like I guess past champions from the Coliseum.
Oh yeah.
And one of them is Beta Ray Bill's face.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, I need to rewatch it. I didn't notice that.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah,
I've seen this guy before.
He's the best.
Okay, cool.
I love him so much.
So he's a horse,
Stormbreaker,
right? Let me take kinda god horse.
No, it's from the Bronze Age.
A dinosaur. I always thought it was a dinosaur.
An apparent monster who unexpectedly turns out to be a great hero.
Yeah. So there's like an alien planet that was, like the planet was about to get fucked up. Like all the entire people had to get put on an ark essentially, and they created a guardian for him. So they had like a big tournament, and the last surviving member, the winner of the tournament, they operated on, gave him cybernetic implants, and he became the guardian of the people while they were asleep. Cool. Thor came across him. They had a fight, and everybody knows that or maybe everybody knows about the enchantment. Like, if you're worthy, you can pick up Mjolnir. Mm-hmm. He was like the first person that Thor came across that could.
Okay.
Oh, okay, cool.
So by the time the events of was it called Ragnarok in comics also, Or was it called? Or what was it called in World War
Hulk.
Ragnarok the movie was a mix-up of like a lot of things.
Okay,
so
let me simplify that question then. Where Beta Ray Bill would have appeared, how long had Thor when Beta Ray Bill was introduced? How long was he one of those characters that Thor had already known in the past, though, or did Thor? Is there a comic where Thor really or not? Is there a comic, but is Thor's first encounter with Beta Ray Bill really his first encounter with Beta Ray Bill?
Yes, okay. It is. Yeah, they met. Like Thor threw his hammer at him, and Beta Ray Bill grabbed it, and Thor's like, "That what? No, you can't do that."
Hacks.
Yeah. So then.
Okay, so Stormbreaker does exist, but it's a hammer, not an axe.
Yes.
And there is probably an axe as far as we know, but we just don't know what it's called. In Ultimate means.
I forget what it is. It's a...
So it does exist, then.
Yeah.
But we just don't know it's not Stormbreaker.
No, it's not. Stormbreaker is...
So that's an Ultimate... I was going to say Ultimate X-Men.
Yeah, like so much of the Marvel, the MCU is amalgamations of so many things.
Oh, yeah. See, a little Ultimate Thor.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. What's next on there, Mario? What else did you notice that we had misspoke about? Because this is really good this is therapeutic to do this because I am learning and this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I like.
And I'm very happy to be a pedant. Let me see. I don't know. Like you were talking about, like how strong Thanos was.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't know. Like y'all compared to Doomsday.
Yeah, that was me. And I had asked compared to Doomsday. Is Thanos that much stronger, or is Doomsday pretty close?
Obviously, universe difference, so that's tough to judge.
Of course. In as much as you can say from given examples, like he jumps this high, he jumps over the Empire State Building in this movie, so clearly he can jump X amount of feet.
Doomsday's like Kryptonian Hulk.
Yeah.
And Thanos did beat up the Hulk, but there's a lot of different things. Like Hulk's strength can fluctuate. Depending on how mad he is and stuff. So
essentially, there's not really a fair gauge.
Yeah, not really.
Okay, if I was to rephrase the question and say, is Doomsday the DC Universe's Thanos?
Nah.
Okay.
No, that's Darkseid.
Yeah. Okay. There's that. Okay. What else do we got?
Reason through these. I don't remember what this came up. I wrote theory: Ant-Man goes into a time vortex in the quantum realm.
Right. John and I were discussing what exactly because I asked a few things about that. Is where in the timeline did Ant-Man and Wasp happen? Because at the end of that movie, you know what I mean. He's in there, and then there's like and then they're
yeah. I think you said that like Infinity War took place over the course of like 2 days, right?
Yeah, about that.
That sounds about right. I mean, just based on what you see in the movie.
Yeah.
Ant-Man the Wasp, I would say, same week, maybe a couple weeks before.
Maybe,
pretty close.
Maybe
but that
like
scene at the end definitely happened when Thanos went.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in day 2.
Yeah, but yeah, you don't know how far.
Yeah, because it seems really weird. Because I mean, at least explains why Ant-Man wasn't in Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Age of Ultron.
Infinity
God damn
War.
it, Infinity War.
I just thought of
Fucking hell.
something. If it's sorry, I was just thinking about the daylight. Because it's daylight in Wakanda when he does that. So why was it daylight in San Francisco?
Like Hollywood inconsistency, maybe.
Yeah,
I'm huge on Wakanda.
I think that was just. I think with that kind of stuff, that's why it's so hard.
Night shoots are more expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
What else is there? I mean, they did the same thing even in Infinity War with Samuel Jackson. Fury.
Oh, it's true. He's in New York. Yeah.
Did we talk about the butt exploding in the podcast, going in Thanos' ass and exploding, and why this can't be a thing?
I think that meme came
after
about as we did the podcast.
Okay, yeah, because I don't think that maybe that meme was a thing yet until after we talked about it. But
boy, that exploded.
Yeah,
just like Ant-Man and Thanos' ass.
Aside being a cheap cop out and a really weird way to end the Avengers, is there a factual reason that couldn't happen, or could it probably happen and it's just a dumb, stupid way to end the movie?
So
Thanos doesn't have a butt.
Thanos beat up the Hulk, so he's very, very strong, very, very tough. Scott Lang is very squishy. I mean, he might gape a little, but nothing's happening.
Right. I get what you're saying. Wow, man, if you're that strong, where someone expanding inside of you...
You might poop a pancake for like a week. That's
yeah, you can give a fuck less. That's wild. So Chris Pratt really was the one at fault of all this, because they could have ended
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we can. This is a thing where we can kind of like, this isn't on your docket, but I want to kind of talk about that a little bit. Is that a real thing, or was that kind of just a plot device because the movie couldn't end there?
What?
Like when they're talking about, Chris Pratt go, I'm gonna. We almost have the glove off and everything's almost fine, but I'm just gonna ruin everything by getting angry and not being able to control my emotions right now.
Oh, like, is Star-Lord naturally hot-headed like that?
Is that something that would really happen, or is it a plot device to keep... We need another movie, guys. We got money to make.
That.
I love Guardians of the Galaxy. James Gunn made great movies. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But the Guardians of the Galaxy I know that team is based off came together through very convoluted circumstances that they couldn't fit into a movie without years of, backstory and blah, blah, blah.
Doing their own MCU for Guardians, essentially.
Yeah, so he adapted those characters and put them on the movie in a way that's, cheap and easy, and they come across really well. After the success of the movie, the comics started adapting that.
So it kind of, I get what you're saying. Kind of like the not cheap, but the easily digestible clone became the original content.
Yeah, like. Everybody loves Star-Lord's Walkman. Mm-hmm. Not a thing until the movie.
Okay. So 80s synthwave fan, Star-Lord, not really a thing.
Probably didn't come up. He wouldn't carry that thing around with him all the time.
Right.
Like the Star-Lord I started reading and loving a lot. I was like, all right, I fucked up big time and allowed an entire planet to explode, or maybe 2 planets to explode. So I need to be on top of all this shit. He's not a mercenary. He's not a thief. He's a dude with a lot on his shoulders, but he's very...
More of a proper hero.
A bit more.
Than a Han Solo.
Yeah, probably.
In that sense, you know what I mean, in that sense. More of an actual archetype of a superhero than the lucky dashing rogue who happens to save the world also.
Yeah, he makes jokes, he makes sarcasm, as someone's wanted to do, but he's not a goofy guy.
Right. Okay, so he's a little in the MCU movies. They made him a lot more of a memer than he actually is.
Yeah,
the Jack in the Box middle finger and everything included.
He probably would do that actually.
Oh, he would. Okay, that's good to know. So with that being said, what was the other? I had another thought in my head. Is it Chris Pratt? I mean, fucking Star-Lord. Star-Lord. I lost it. Fuck it. Oh, but. It had something to do with his character and in the movies and if it was accurate as well. But from what you're telling me, it's interesting to know that the Guardians that spawned from the movie is basically an OC in a way.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Star-Lord anyways. What about Gamora and all them? Are they pretty accurate to the comics?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they expand on Gamora in a better way in the movie, which has happened in the comics, I think. Mm-hmm. Drax has a very, very complicated backstory, and he's fine as the comedy relief.
I wish they'd kept his old costume.
God.
The purple one?
Yeah.
Okay, and what else did you have, Mr. Mario?
Alright, so Ant-Man going to the Vortex. He's going to pop out a year after Infinity War happens.
Okay.
There's definitely going to be a time jump.
That's what I was going to ask. Sorry, to interrupt real quick before I forget again. Was Star-Lord one of the people who turned in? Okay, he was, right, okay. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so about a year after is when he's going to come out of there?
I mean, at least. Did
that actually happen in the comics? Did he get...
No, he's not even in the...
No, again, so much of the MCU is an amalgamation of so many things.
So, Ant-Man coming out of the... So since it's not a real thing, because we kind of talked about what we think might happen, how they're going to explain how we got out of there. Do you have a theory of how they're going to explain him? Because didn't they kind of talk about in Ant-Man and Wasp that oh man, if we get stuck in here, we're really fucked. Look what happened to the mom.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a throwaway line, but Michelle Pfeiffer, Janet Van Dyne said stay away from this time vortex or else we'll lose you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. My theory is he goes into it and gets popped out a year or however long later. Because there's definitely going to be a time jump.
Definitely.
Shows up the Avengers, and they're going to use the quantum realm, I guess, to time travel.
Which was the whole point, kind of, Ant-Man and Wasp in general, was to introduce that into the MCU, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So that way they could just be not just all of a sudden, we got this rad tech where we can do this shit.
Yeah,
it was just they totally they have a whole fucking movie where they build this shit and talk about how this is a thing.
Yeah, it was one of those
good. I like
comics,
that, though.
Filler that introduces a MacGuffin.
Right. But what else did we got?
As far as in comics, like it's been a while since I read Infinity Gauntlets, but that was mostly Adam Warlock and like Silver Surfer hanging out and throwing the Avengers and all like the Marvel other heroes at Thanos, waiting for like their spot. Like, okay, he's distracted, grab it now.
Yeah, like in the comics, Strange keeps him invisible until they actually strike. So
yeah,
Benedict Cucumber.
Yep,
pretty much.
Instead of just sitting
isn't it weird
meditating.
how Doctor Strange is way better in every movie that he's not the star of?
It's true, right? Yeah. Like, what the fuck was that, dude? That was
his cameo in Thor Ragnarok was great.
Was the best. I loved it.
I wasn't a fan of the gloves.
They were fine. I mean, they're comic accurate. I was like, that's cool.
I didn't want to see his fucked hands anyways. That's why.
Right.
God, that scene. I'm a squeamish person, so I hate seeing.
Oh yeah, with like all the pins coming out of it.
Yeah, I hated that shit. That shit grossed me out. But it's kind of cool in a way that they were like pretty real. You know, they weren't cheap about it, and where someone can be like, "Oh, when you get in a car accident, that would it's like his hands were fucked."
Like they just wrap his hands in bandages. No.
Right, exactly. Some really cheap cop out like that, but yeah.
What do y'all think is going to be the like after credits? Do you think it's going to be Spider-Man: Far From Home, or is it going to be the setting something up? Is it going to be the equivalent of Avengers, like Thanos turning and smiling?
Annihilus.
That'd be sweet.
No, it's not going to be Annihilus.
The Fox deal just went through.
Okay, real quick before I answer that question, there is no planned next movie yet, right?
Far From Home,
and
which is Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Black Panther 2 and Guardians 3, and that's it.
Those are confirmed.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, Doctor Strange 2 is confirmed.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Is it the one where it gets good?
Black Widow.
Yeah, Black Widow.
I don't know, maybe
that'd be interesting. Is hers a... Oh, so go ahead.
Maybe something with Dormammu.
That'd be cool.
Dormammu! I am here to bargain with you! God damn, get the fuck away from me. Is Black Widow's going to be a current timeline, or is it going to be a prequel movie?
No idea.
No
one has any.
What would probably make more sense for them to do? Just do... She was doing this during whatever, or this is her urgent story. I got fucking tired of it.
I think it just really depends on like what's the next overarching thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like all the Phase 1, 2, and 3 movies, all for the most part set up like Infinity War, like all the Infinity Stones and stuff. So I don't know what's the next MacGuffin. I know they're working on developing the Eternals. Like Angelina Jolie's in talks to star in it.
Oh, that's gonna be so cool.
Yeah.
So then, after now all that being covered, what I was going to ask is, I kind of semi-asked this to John or whatever, but because post-credit scenes can be filmed like, remember how in was it the first Avengers movie when they're the
shawarma
thing that was like filmed like a week before the movie came? I mean, was finalized.
Oh yeah, the chin mold.
Yeah. Because things like that can happen. Is there, and you can answer too, because I think I did ask you this, but I still want to just reiterate on it. Is there any chance X-Men or Fantastic Four could have even a reference in the end of the movie? I mean, as the post-credit scene.
Highly.
One of the I want to say there's probably going to be multiple post-credit scenes, so is there a chance that one of them could...
I don't know, I mean...
Like a ching, or even the sound of Wolverine's claws?
No, I don't
think
think
some dumb shit like that?
So, I guess they seeded this back in Spider-Man Homecoming, where they sold Stark Tower, Avengers Tower, and in the trailer for Far From Home, you see that it's being renovated in the background or something. Yeah. So people are thinking like, oh, did Norman Osborn buy it, or is it the Baxter Building?
Yeah. Okay.
So who knows about what's happening there? I know they said that they want to go a lot more cosmic for going forward after Endgame. So more emphasis on the Guardians, the Eternals.
Better than the First Family.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, true. So as far as like big villains they could do in the future, obviously number one is Galactus, Kang. If they're gonna be fucking with time in Endgame, then Kang could come in.
They should add Nicolas Cage's character from Mandy into the Avengers.
Yeah,
that's a good movie.
That movie is wild. I'm not one for like B stuff or like horror stuff. Like, not seriously, anyways. I love the ironic, like the almost like Army of Darkness. I love and stuff like that. But I'm not big into like you have those people who can name like super obscure ones, and I'm just like, and this is kind of seems like this one was really really deep on the B movie.
I've heard some criticism. It was like, oh, here's like the cult movie checklist. Let's check off every single one.
Yeah, exactly. It was a little like that, right?
I still enjoyed it though.
Oh, Mandy's great.
I watched it.
Well, I guess it really caught me off guard because I did hear before I saw it. I heard tons. It has a great Metacritic, Rotten Tomatoes, I believe.
Really?
I think it has a pretty good. Let me play that back a bit. Not an amazing. It's not like a fucking 90 or anything like that, but a decent Rotten Tomatoes score, I believe.
Yeah.
Possibly, maybe another correction there, but when I heard, everyone kept telling me, "Oh, it's great, you got to see it." A ton of people were telling me that. I did not expect any of that.
That's funny. I didn't hear jack shit. I was just happened to be at the draft house one day.
I got word of mouth from a coworker, and he told me a couple things about it, and I was like, "It's Nicolas Cage going full Cage. It's got a great soundtrack. It's bloody as hell." I was like, "All right, that sounds cool." I watched the trailer. I was like, "I will see it."
Yeah, I'm just a Cage fan, and I was like, "Oh, cool, new Nicolas Cage movie sold."
Has Ghost Rider ever been part of the Avengers?
He is now, currently.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Nice.
But like, which
incarnation?
Robbie Reyes.
Oh, okay. Robbie Reyes. Okay, so definitely.
Oh, so shoot.
Definitely not Nicolas Cage.
No.
I want
is Blackheart from the Nicolas Cage movies like that?
Blackheart's a character, right?
Yeah.
No, but like how shitty he was done in the Nicolas Cage movies. Has he ever been that cringy in the actual comics?
I can't remember reading a comic with Blackheart in it, so all I know, wasn't he the character in MVC or one of them?
Oh yeah, he was one of them.
Is he? Really?
I think so.
Oof. Yeah, I think he was.
I'm not a fighting game guy.
At least MVC 3 at least.
Josh.
I think he was a really cringy. Yeah, Shafes, you gotta tell us how wrong we are.
Yeah.
Tell us about how he wasn't in it.
Actually.
But getting back on topic though, what are you guys hoping to see that hasn't been confirmed yet in Avengers?
Doctor Doom.
Yes.
So hard.
Have you seen Legion?
The
show?
No, the X-Men one, right?
Yeah.
No. Is he... There mentions?
It's a great show. Mm-hmm. It's really, really great. And the guy that runs it was going to do a Doctor Doom movie. Obviously before the merger. I read somewhere, so huge as grains of salt, that Kevin Feige was like, hey, bring that Doctor Doom stuff over here.
Can you imagine? Just the end credits of Endgame. It pans over this this Eastern European countryside. You zoom in on a castle.
Bro,
thin gold chain.
It's just
that's a perfect time with Hawkeye.
It's a whole everyone's just squatting.
Right. It pans into this ancient castle. You can just see an armored fellow sitting on a throne.
Oh, I thought you were going to say an armored '90s Mercedes as they're squatting on it. Also,
I just realized I'm wearing Adidas tracks.
Oh man, I don't know where mine is. I could put mine on also, but I don't have it right now. But anyways,
I want Doctor Doom so hard.
That would be cool. Doctor Doom would be great because that would be an excuse for me to do an MF Doom thing with it. Which would be great. But
sorry.
Go ahead.
Still on Doctor Doom. Who's your ideal Doctor Doom?
That's tough.
Nip Tuck.
Honestly, he wasn't bad. I have a
I'll stand Rise of the Silver Surfer all day.
Oh yeah, I love Galactic Cloud.
Except for that. Yeah, except for that.
Ty Burrell. That's my Doctor Doom.
Hannibal Buress.
Oh, yeah.
You saying Ty Burrell made me think about Hannibal Buress so quickly. I just imagined him being like fucking Doctor Doom as whack. And he's just like chilling as he's just watching everyone destroy the house. He's just like whack.
Oh, you know who could make that into a meme, please.
But Doctor Doom would be dope.
Maybe Armie Hammer.
Ooh. My number one was, and still kind of is, Mads Mikkelsen. I mean, yeah, you play the character.
Shit,
he's dead, but not the character's dead. Well, the character's dead, so maybe he could come back. Yeah. He's going to wear a mask anyway.
Yeah,
he will.
How do you feel about what's his face, Jim and Emily Blunt as Mr. and Miss Fantastic?
Very strongly.
Tom Clancy's whatever the fuck he's in right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But I just don't want to see Jim become Reed. Because Reed's a dick, if you don't know.
Well, Jim's kind of a dick at the end of The Office.
That's true.
That's true, yeah. So it goes over the progression of the story arc.
Yep.
I would love to see the Maker eventually.
As Ricky Gervais?
No, Ricky Gervais can play Krang. Kang.
God.
Oh my god. I would hate that so much. It would work really
I would
well.
love that so bad.
Would Deadpool... is Deadpool ever gonna... is Fox still on Deadpool?
Yeah.
No, he's part of with the...
Oh, is
really?
part of the deal?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, okay.
Or all the X-Men properties, yeah.
Like, all Marvel is under...
Okay.
Except Hulk. Is Universal still on Hulk?
Mm-hmm.
And is it...
And Namor.
And is it a...
And Namor?
Yeah.
What the hell were they going to do with Namor?
Nothing.
They should do Ninjak, starring Jason David Frank. And, no, I'm joking. But, Jesus. He's gonna fight me now.
Oh, you know he's... has or will be doing pro wrestling in Laredo.
He should.
You heard that JDF, ZD Rocker's throwing down a...
Oh yeah, I know JDF versus. He's gonna keep pinging me on Twitter at like 2 a.m. Fight me, loser. And I'd be like, well, I didn't say I wanted to fight you. I just said you should be whoever the fuck I said you should be.
You're 0-2.
Oh god, oh yeah, he is 0-2. Man's gonna fight you.
Oh.
And then Ronda Rousey's gonna fight me for what I said a couple of podcasts ago. But
what happens when you go white? Should have stayed green.
Oh man, I gotta show you this GIF.
Oh, go, yeah, do it. And while Mario pulls that up, what was I going to say? So, Deadpool could... No, but Deadpool's going to be probably too... He's not going to get introduced in the MCU seriously because he'll probably have like a meme or a cameo because
so
he'd be too OP, right? Couldn't he just escape the universe and erase Thanos with an eraser because Thanos is in a comic?
Well,
He's not Bugs Bunny.
Oh, okay. And when the first time he killed the Marvel Universe, he breaks out of the fourth wall and goes and kills the writers.
Oh my god. God damn it.
That was a pause.
He just showed me a gif of Ronda Rousey getting fucked in the head.
It's beautiful.
So he may not be Bugs Bunny, but that does make me actually beg a question. I think I asked you this a long time ago, Mario, but I would like to refresh it / do it on recording. Is Deadpool in the comics prior to the movie? Well, excuse me. How long has Deadpool been around? Let me
1991, 2, 3, somewhere around there.
Okay,
Early
but at one point he wasn't always the memer that he is in the new millennia, right?
No, that more started like in early 2000s.
Okay, so he wasn't obviously actually a serious character for a while?
He was cracking jokes, but he wasn't like fourth wall breaking.
Right.
That didn't happen until like he got his first solo series.
Right. So he was not even technically a solo act until that then. He was part of like...
Cable, right?
One of the last issues of New Mutants before it became X-Force.
Man, Cable and Deadpool movie. Who's gonna play? Is Cable still a thing? Is that movie still happening? Was that ever happening? Was there ever a Cable movie that was gonna happen? Josh Brolin?
Yeah, that was Deadpool too.
Oh, but it wasn't like he wasn't gonna get his own movie then?
Probably not.
Cable's cool though.
Like they were gonna do a spin-off of Deadpool 2 was gonna be X-Force and then Deadpool 3.
So no Cable movie.
No.
Probably not.
Bishop movie? No, I'm joking. Okay, anyways.
Strife might get a movie.
Oh fuck.
Jesus Christ. Domino solo movie. Who played Domino in the movies?
Zazie Beetz.
Has she done anything else other than
that? She's in Atlanta.
No, I've never seen it.
Like she lives in Atlanta? No, I'm kidding.
I know I saw her in something else. I just can't remember what it was.
Right, well, I'll remember. I was telling John about... Do you remember Kong Skull Island? Or did you never see it?
No, I never saw it.
How Captain Marvel, Agent Coulson, Nick Fury, and Loki are all in that movie.
I didn't know about Coulson.
Yeah, he's just an extra in the briefing room, but he's there.
He's
great. Straight up there.
John C. Reilly, who was in Guardians as well.
Right.
Oh, that's true.
The best thing in that movie and Kong Skull Island, for those who watched Tim and Eric, is that his jacket in Kong Skull Island says "Great for your health." Which reminds me of I was just like, that had to have been on purpose. It has so many shots where you can just see his back and clearly
Dr.
reads
Steve
"Great for your health," except it just says "Great for your health." I was just like, oh my god.
I'm just so happy that the On Cinema gets representation in the MCU.
And speaking of On Cinema, in May, we're gonna go see that shit live.
Hell yeah!
Nice.
It's such a hard thing to get into, but it happened. So we missed the last one because it got sold out so quickly. So, but coming back to it, anything else you guys are hoping or expect from the Marvel movies?
I don't know. I would love to, have the Fantastic Four. I feel like they missed a big opportunity not having Phase 4 revolve around the Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four is considered one of the classic, or one of the classic comic book families of like.
Well,
yeah, they're the ones that.
Put it this way, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when the movies tanked, and from what I heard, because Fox owned the property, right, for the Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
Because of that, Marvel stopped producing the comics because once the MCU started taking off, well, there's no reason for them to make money that way because they're not. Why make money for Fox? Why put interest in that? Which sucks, because that was a big property for Marvel.
Right. And you were going to say about First Family of Comics or whatever the fuck, playing off what I was asking.
Yeah, like Marvel wasn't really making superhero stories, or any new superhero stories really, until they created the Fantastic Four in 1961. Yeah.
So that led to like X-Men and everything pretty much after?
Pretty much, yeah. Like the Fantastic Four kicked off the Marvel superhero universe as it is.
That's really good to know. Just because I've never really been into Fantastic Four. My minor exposures is to them in video games, the great movies, and everything else. Collecting those holographic foil cards that I stole from somebody in school, and then cut up like an asshole.
Oh god!
I said, if anyone, for those of you who are too young to remember this, and this is going to be quite a bit because they used to have these things. I want to say it was a Pizza Hut. And you could get like several. It was like they looked like playing cards, but they were all hooked together, like 9 of them. And it was like Marvel stuff, primarily X-Men stuff. So you would have like Sabretooth, Wolverine, Juggernaut, everyone on the thing together, right? And this guy was so hyped to have them, so I wanted them. And like a great citizen, I earned them by borrowing them and then never giving them back. No, I think if I remember correctly, like I was a prick when I was a kid, but I remember that I went into his cubby because we still had cubbies back then. We didn't need a lock or anything like that. Sorry, someone's having a issue in the background whenever we were doing that. But anyways, I remember we all had cubbies, and this is why you get lockers when you have stuff. When you possess things that probably... I don't know why I'm doing a crime confession right now. But basically, I went into his cubby. He's going to like remember this trying to reach out to me now. But we kept him in there, so I took him out of his cubby. So they all went out to recess, and I stayed behind. And I took him out of there, and I was just like, these look like trading cards. And I got scissors, and then I just started cutting them up, and I was just like, I have all these cool trading cards now. I wonder how much that shit... I'm going to search eBay later and wonder if anyone's still trying to buy that shit and be like, God damn it, I could have had a rare, like, fucking decent collectible thing, and it got so fucked. And I stole it and ruined it at the same time. Like, fucking hell. But getting back on point, though, I never had much exposure. So Fantastic Four was actually what led into that, because we talked about it leading to X-Men and stuff like that. But... yeah, no, I would really like to experience Fantastic Four the way that people in the 60s, or whenever it got really popular.
Yeah.
Whatever era that was. I want to feel what they felt that made Fantastic Four be that kickoff point.
That's what's been missing.
Watch The Incredibles?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, if it's like that, then yeah. I mean, I can relate to The Incredibles.
Actually, yeah, The Incredibles are pretty, like, 1-for-1.
Practically, yeah.
Do you think in 10 years, when the Walking Dead's been off the air for 3 years?
I'm sorry, you mean when it's been on the air for another 23 years?
Yeah, that's why it's been. Yeah, exactly.
When we still don't know what Rick's gonna do.
The zombie craze has hopefully died down. That we'll get Marvel zombies.
God, I hope not.
What?
It's. I don't see it working as a movie.
No, it'd be
like
too
there's,
hard, yeah.
Especially with the MCU being built around like. Here's all these movies that are interconnected. If you're going to do one zombie movie, then that's killing off literally everybody.
Yeah. Maybe a one-off, like an Elseworlds thing.
They should just do Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe movie. That's what I want to see. A live-action one with
John Bernthal.
Thomas Jane.
Who? Do you think they're going to take this moment to introduce the Sentry?
Again, I really hope not. I don't care for the Sentry at all.
I don't like it either, but I mean, he's kind of an interesting character.
Yeah.
It's nice to have your well, they don't really touch addiction. We've never had we haven't had a drop of Iron Man's alcoholism, have we?
Like they look in that direction. Iron Man 2.
Yeah, he's more like a party boy.
Yeah.
No, Tony's a hell.
He had some dark moments though in the comics, right? Like, hasn't he had some
Demon in a Bottle? That classic cover of him looking in the mirror like, that's
such a good.
Did I text my ex?
That's such a good looking cover. That should be the the thumbnail of this podcast, just as being like, why did we record that last episode?
Do you think if they actually fully adapted like the whole demon in a bottle addiction storyline, that the MCU would have survived this long?
No.
Yeah,
that's a good point. That's a very good point. Yeah,
you can't touch on that.
No, it's too sensitive. You can only go so far in any direction, really.
Yeah, Tony Stark being kind of drunk and saying that he just peed in his suit.
What about Thomas Lang being a fucking... Was Thomas Lang the wife beater?
Hank Pym.
Hank Pym is... Oh, yeah, imagine if they had brought that part of Hank into the movies. That wouldn't be good.
No, yeah, Hank beats up Janet.
One time, he was under a lot of pressure. He was like, get out of the way! And then she just happened to be there, okay? I do not... Domestic abuse is awful. It shouldn't happen.
Unless it's by accident.
Spider-Man did it.
Oh, yeah, he snapped Gwen Stacy's neck.
He closed fist punched Mary Jane.
No, that's an actual thing?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah. Which, Peter Parker?
Yeah. It was like a 80s, early 90s comic. It was like, my parents are back and they're robots. Fuck you!
That's fucking wild. I did not know that.
Yeah, dude. Spidey's
I'm deleting it from my PS4 as we speak. Is there a costume for him doing that? I'm sure.
I don't think he was wearing his shirts. It was just pants.
Peter B. Parker. Peter Beat Parker. Oh.
When you said that, I thought you were gonna say Peter B. Parker. So I imagine Michael B. Jordan fusing with like fucking Tom Holland or whoever the fuck it is now.
Tom Holland. That's his name.
Yeah.
And then he said, "I'd rather die in the ocean than ever be a slave for Peter Parker." No, get it. I'm cutting that part. I'm not doing that part. But yeah. Anyways, what else? Anything else you guys are looking for?
Well, shit. Now that I know Universal owns Namor, I hope they'll do something to bring him into the MCU.
Namor.
I mean, how much do the rights to Namor actually cost?
I don't know. You know they'll put a tight grip on that.
I mean, yeah, potentially.
If people show interest, but who knows who Namor is? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with the success of Aquaman, that you run the risk, like, hey, it's Marvel's Aquaman, or it's Marvel's Aquaman.
Yeah. Hey, man, Namor was one of the original ones, so I don't want to hear nothing. He's a cool guy. He stole Miss Fantastic.
Really?
Yeah. She leaves Reed to go.
Damn.
Like he shows up at the door, like sopping wet, just in his trunks,
Speedo.
And then Sue's like, "Now, I'm a married woman."
He's like, it's so good. That universe needs to come back, goddammit. Tobey Maguire for Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire in the MCU. Ooh. Jesus.
How do you think Norman's going to get introduced? Where do you think they're going to carry that arc? And you think, so with, Spider-Verse and... God,
it was so good. Spider-Verse is so good.
Kingpin is, he's like he's the main villain here.
Yeah.
And Norman, for me, I grew up on Ultimate Spider-Man, so it's always been Norman is like your goblins, your go-to, his Joker.
Also, Spider-Man the animated series from the 90s, like Kingpin was the dude.
Yeah. How do you think they're going to carry that?
I really, really hope they keep Vincent D'Onofrio. They have him cross over.
He's fantastic, isn't he?
It's so tough because obviously the Netflix shows are a lot darker, especially Daredevil.
Yeah.
So it's hard to. I mean,
Daredevil's still good to go, right? It's still going on.
No, it's all gone.
That's all gone. All of it's gone.
Everything's gone.
Defenders. But to be pulled to that, or just canceled completely?
Just canceled. No more production. Like, there's the rights are still part of the contract or deal they had was if we can't Netflix canceled them because Disney's going to do their Disney Plus. Like, well, if you're pulling your stuff, we're not going to do stuff for you anymore.
Yeah.
So they can use the properties after 2021, or pay huge fees and do it. So
they're not going to do that. They didn't even pay for Seinfeld.
So Marvel, Disney can either pay the fines and bring them in, or just wait and not do anything with them.
When you said that, I immediately thought of, stop! You violated the law! Pay your fines! I was just like, oh god, yeah, do it! That's basically what would happen. The Imperial Guards would go get Netflix and tell them to stop. Oh man, Oblivion Netflix series. I mean, Elder Scrolls Netflix series. Jesus. That would either be really good or really, really, really bad.
Let's see how The Witcher does.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's interesting. I hope that does good.
Henry Cavill, though. I have my reservations.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very curious on that.
Oh, I saw a picture today of what he actually looked like on set of Superman or Justice League with the mustache.
Oh my god, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
That was a weird thing, too, that was happening with that.
Hyper-edited. Tonight, I'm gonna have my...
Oh my god, is that real?
Yeah.
Oh
my god, that's the best.
Yeah. I don't have your number right.
we'll solve that. We'll solve that in a second.
Yeah.
Anyways, any other thoughts? Any other thing on the MCU? That guy we got.
Tell me your number right here.
Here's my number, guys.
Guys, say it really loud.
Yeah.
And what else do you? And your social security number and your credit card number, verification number.
623.
Egg roll, cheese, and green. But anyways, with
where am I?
What year is this? I am back. You wake up at the desk at your laptop, and this is all these years have never
next
happened.
to a snow globe.
God damn it.
Oh.
But anything
I don't know
else
if
you guys are,
I don't know if this belongs on mic, but I was at work the other day and there's the Bulverde one's close.
Oh.
So there's someone had ordered and we were just raving about it. I'm just in my desk like,
Oh my god, what the hell?
Yeah.
That's awkward. But to close it up, anything else you guys are looking forward to or pray, beg, or even unrealistically want to be in there?
I want to see the Grandmaster and the Collector just broing it up because they are bros, like actual brothers.
Uh-huh.
What else? Galactus, just Galactus.
Proper Galactus?
Yeah.
Silver Surfer, maybe a couple other heralds.
That's what I want, Silver Surfer.
I'm really hoping. I mean, with them require they like full on have it now, right? Like
yeah.
that is that's
theirs.
so good. I wonder what they paid out or what the deal is. Does Fox get a kick out?
Couple of billies.
Yeah, or did they just outright buy it?
I'll just outright so they don't. You know how they are.
Yeah, without royalties. But
Yeah.
All right, that's it. Is that it? I think we're gonna wrap it up there. We're about at that time point. So
Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
A Dr. Octopus. I know they're trying to stay away from villains that have already done Spider-Man, but I want to see an MCU Dr. Octopus.
I want to see a superior
So much.
Spider-Man.
I'm nodding, yes.
Yes,
yeah, I was gonna say that didn't translate very well on Mike.
Otto's great.
Otto, man, anything I hear, I just think of fucking the Spider-Man PS4 game.
It's gonna be hard.
The
to
best
top
version of Dr. Octopus.
Right? It's so good.
Really?
Oh, one of the best, yeah.
I haven't played all the way. So for me, it's Alfred Molina.
So dude, it's like the very beginning of the game. So
I know, yeah.
You need to because I think he is. Well, and the development has to be there too. You don't just judge it off the first scene with him and be like, yeah, you're right, he was the best.
Yeah,
Think the Alfred Molina character with a bit of Walter White.
Ooh,
And that's Doc Ock.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a very good. That's
I like
very
that.
good.
I like
So that means Bryan Cranston's going to play Doc Ock in the upcoming
holy
movie, right?
shit! If Bryan Cranston played Doc Ock, please let that happen.
Come back as Zordon, Power Rangers 2. That was a good movie.
How about just
See,
get
I
Bryan
didn't see
Cranston
that
in a
still.
movie on
I
his
still
own?
haven't
I still
seen
liked it.
So
Yeah, it was good.
nice. I was really hating on it. Now, what I will say though, even though this has nothing to do with the Marvel, I will say though that I don't take back that I still think Alpha looks like shit.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like the little doodly bobs.
It's fine, whatever. I
I
mean,
love Bill Hader, but
yeah, it was good.
But it was good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Bill Hader's hard to mess up. Yeah, Bill Hader's good.
The last movie I probably saw Bill Hader in was the one, the weird rock and roll one.
The Rocker.
The
What?
Rocker.
That's Rainn Wilson.
I was confusing. those two idiots are always confusing to me.
Oh shit, I need to watch Barry. I haven't watched that. And I came out.
I
last
want to
night.
see
heard
them
that's good,
do
yeah.
all of The Office with the other one.
Parks and Rec.
Yeah, no, not Rainn Wilson, but with
Bill Hader?
Well, Bill Hader. They just do reshoot everything, put on the makeup and hair dye for Steve Carell, and redo from episode 1 to the finale. And every scene with Dwight is Bill Hader.
What about Asian Jim? As
And
well?
Asian Jim.
Asian Jim, yeah.
Asian Jim should be there too. That dude was so fucking funny in Ant-Man, right? Wasn't he in Ant-Man?
Yeah.
He's
Dude,
Kim Jong-un.
In the interview,
In the interview. Yeah,
he has a small part in Aquaman.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, that's the
There's
best.
another one he has a small part of. What the hell was I watching? Oh, and The Night Before.
He's in
He
everything.
plays, JGL's boss.
He's in everything they couldn't get Ken Jeong for.
Ken Jeong's too old to play now.
Basically.
It's like when Michelle Rodriguez replaced Linda Hamilton as the badass female.
Yeah, basically. And now Dora the Explorer is going to replace Michelle Rodriguez. But, what was I going to say? Anything else? Good? Anything else?
I think so.
Yeah, nothing.
No more wishes. We have a long wish list. So, yeah, hopefully none of that's probably going to happen. But if even one of those things happens, that'd be great.
Who do you think's dying, Cap or Iron Man? Right?
It's got to happen, right? They have to have a really climactic thing.
Yeah, like one of them's not coming back.
I'm leaning more towards Cap.
Yeah, same.
Is it gonna probably be one of them, or could it be anyone else?
It can't be Thor.
As far as we know, like,
it can't be the Hulk.
Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, their contracts are up.
Yeah,
and they're probably not going to re-up.
Yeah.
Well, Evans has explicitly said he's not going to re-up. Right?
Yeah, like he's had a good run. You go out.
And Robert Downey Jr. is probably just not. He has probably never said it explicitly, but he's probably not going to.
Like his contract originally was for like his 3 Iron Man movies and the 3 Avengers movies, or now 4. But then he came out and was like, "Yeah, I renegotiated. Now I'm going to show up in Civil War and Spider-Man, and that's about it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the only real tag-ons.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
I feel like it's definitely got to be Cap that's dying.
Okay, Cap. What about you, John?
No, I gotta say Cap.
Cap?
But I think it might be Iron Man. I don't know why. Just my gut says.
Okay, but you think it should be?
Yeah.
Yeah, that does make sense thematically, since he was like the very first hero, and Downey would pass the torch.
That would be interesting. Yeah, that could be a very emotional.
Go through the first 3 phase cycles.
I would be more sad to see Robert Downey Jr. die than Chris Evans.
Not a dry eye in the house.
So Robert Downey Jr. obviously has been the face of the Marvel Universe since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Which of like the second generation of heroes you see it going forward being? Is it Captain Marvel or
Spider-Man,
Black Panther?
Ooh, see that's interesting. The same thing happens in the comics. Like whenever they do the big
Punisher.
upheavals, like who's
Shane.
the big now? I don't know. I think they're gonna try and push Captain Marvel. What did you think of that, by the way? What was your opinion?
Oh yeah, that's the thing. All right, everyone, it's not over. I lied.
This is the
this is the beginning.
What was your take
yeah.
on Captain Marvel?
Yeah, because John shared his thoughts on Captain Marvel, and do share if you have any more elaborations or anything you didn't mention in the thing before. But yeah, what did you think about Captain Marvel? Because I've heard very varying things from very different people.
I saw it twice.
Same. I saw it again.
I liked it a lot better the second time, just because I guess when I went in first, I was like, well, how are they going to do X and Y? How are they going to explain this? Knowing everything after the first viewing and watching the second time, it's like, all right, that all makes sense. It works really well. Are we doing spoilers on this?
Oh yeah. Let's do that. So everyone, from this point on, as I always like to customarily do, have this huge, obvious, elaborate thing where I go spoilers, because it is going to be spoiler cast from here until the end. Because this is the final segment, so if you don't want to hear, haven't seen Captain Marvel, or don't care, and you're like, I don't fucking hear about Captain Marvel, this is the peace out time. Other than that, from here on out, spoiler cast. So here we go.
Casting Annette Bening as Marvel was fucking perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like an amazing. I don't know if it's a twist, and they didn't say anything beforehand.
True, they didn't.
So I don't know if you can call it a twist, but it works so much better. Like knowing the old classic origin is, I think maybe they just updated in comics, but like the classic Captain Marvel origin is that she gets caught in the blast of some explosion, or Carol Danvers gets caught in the blast of an explosion. She like DNA melds with the original Marvel, so that's why she gets like Kree powers.
Yeah.
So I was like, if they're gonna do that like in the movie, then that really like undercuts like the entire message of it being a pro female movie. Like this is the first Marvel movie or solo movie with a hero or a female hero in it, but she got her powers from a dude. Like that doesn't sell well.
Yeah, that's why I thought Jude Law was Marvel the entire time.
I guess that's why they kept it secret.
Yeah.
Until toys spoiled it.
Yep.
I mean, we didn't warn everyone.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So if you're still listening to this point and he got...
Well, no, I was being salty because I saw a Funko Pop sign like, oh, it's Jude Law. He's Yanrog, not Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, that would have been nice to have known in the movie.
Yeah, that does suck. This is the problem with today's movie industry, right? Is like, how many times do you see a trailer and then like all the good stuff was from the trailer and then the movie was fine, but like everything you really look forward to. There was nothing else that was really added on in the actual movie. Now that happens to more mainstream stuff and not really Marvel or anything like that, but like I do hate it when that happens, or in this case when IMDb listing or a Funko Pop fucking ruins some shit in a movie.
I saw the line today, like the Endgame line, like, okay, there's the Hulk in his spacesuits. Obviously, he hulks out again.
That's almost a given, though. So.
Yeah, but I mean, or like even for Ragnarok, they ruined it. But Marvel kind of ruined it themselves. They put the Hulk out there. That would have been one of the best reveals.
That would have been really cool to come up to that scene. Oh, I guess if you knew, you're right. Though, if you kind of knew,
if you knew,
I mean, it was in the trailer.
See, that's
that's what he means. If you didn't put it in the trailer.
Because you know World War Hulk, like that's.
But you're right, though. Yeah, if you knew the storyline was based off of, you kind of knew that was going to come anyways.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, it was a great moment in the trailer. Like, I know him from work.
Yeah,
that's true.
I knew Giant Man or Ant-Man was going to turn giant in Civil War like months before it came out because of a Funko Pop.
Yeah.
What else was there that I think I saw ruined in a... I don't remember what else.
Oh, Lego. Lego ruined Iron Man 3 and revealed Guy Pearce as the Mandarin.
Did it?
Yep.
Holy shit.
In the set, yeah.
That's not good. That's fucked.
Yeah, no, the toys fuck up so much. It's ridiculous.
And that's not what I mean. Like, marketing nowadays just kind of...
Because I think it's for kids. It's like, no, we buy this shit.
Yeah.
So one thing I sort of got spoiled on Shazam, as I saw the early screening of it.
Oh, wait, don't because I'm going to go see it.
Oh, yeah, he hasn't seen it.
I was actually at my second viewing of Captain Marvel. I was hanging out at the Alien Worlds inside the Draft House, and I looked behind me and there's a Funko Pop and a Shazam thing. I was like, "Oh, that's a spoiler."
Oh,
damn,
that's fucked up.
Okay, yeah, I'm actually.
Don't look at the pops.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I like Shazam.
I will say that in all the trailers I've seen or all the marketing.
Wait, you mean Captain Marvel?
Yeah, hush now. In all the marketing, except for the toys, they've kept all the best parts completely out of the trailers and commercials.
That's great.
Is Mark Strong going to be Black Adam?
No.
Okay. Good.
Is Mark...
Because I've never seen a bad Mark Strong movie.
Is Marky Mark going to be Adam?
I don't know if this is going to count as a spoiler, but there is a reference to Black Adam, and it's, to my eyes, it was very clearly The Rock.
Okay, I was like, can you smell what Black Adam's cooking?
That's what I really want, man.
I know, I really want The Rock. Oh, that's going to be great.
I mean, he's been confirmed for, like, years.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the fact that, like, because sometimes things like that change. I mean, contractually probably can't, but I just want to see it already.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see, some stills of him in costume.
I think
holding up a belt like that.
I think what they're doing is they're going to have a Black Adam movie, and then, like, in a sequel, it'll be Shazam versus Black Adam.
That's crazy that they're going to give him his own... DC.
I mean, it's The Rock, of course you're going to give him his own movie.
DC just does everything so...
Don't worry, Suicide Squad 2 is going to be fine. I mean, reboot. Okay?
No, it's the Suicide Squad.
With James Gunn.
It's these... drop the... that's what it is. Or add the...
Okay, Napster guy or LimeWire.
I don't know. You're LimeWire.
I don't remember what it was. Who was Justin Timberlake in the social media?
Who cares?
There's that.
Who uses Facebook?
Anything else on Captain Marvel?
Cut that out. I hated the soundtrack. That was it. That was
fun.
Yeah, it's
90s pop grunge. It was of the era.
But it's like like I said this last time, someone from VH1, not MTV, picked it. And it's just like, I have my 90s deep cuts in quotes. Where's my...
when I was growing up, I always thought deep cuts was a suicidal, like reference thing in those MTV memes. I always thought that, oh man, they're being edgy, they're referencing or whatever. And it's just like, oh no, that's not what they're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Where's my mud honey?
Jesus.
Okay, I hope we see more of Ronan.
Yes, I hate him. I don't like him as a character, and I think he's a big d-bag. But I think he's
Ronan
a good
from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, Ronan the Abuser.
What?
No, it's Accuser. I know. But...
I was like,
I was gonna say, what
did I miss the huge True Hollywood story?
Yeah,
no, just talking shit, just hating on Ronan because I can.
Fucking Ronan. Ronin Warriors movie would be cool.
Oh my god!
I think. What would you think of her acting? What do you think of Brie Larson?
It was good. It's fine.
Not too middle of the road.
Nah.
I feel like at this point, and I had mentioned this to Josh and Mario years ago, where I felt like Captain Marvel was going to be a hard one to pull off without everyone being a hater. Like, people, I feel, not like you, but I just mean in general, because in general, it's such a mix. I don't know what its Rotten Tomatoes is, but it's, among my friends, has met such a mixed bag. Some people really liked it. Some people really, really didn't like it.
Yeah.
It was going to be a hard movie to pull off in general, because entering the MCU with a character like this that's a little more obscure compared to like the rest of like, you know, Hulk, Thor, and all that shit was going to be a hard sell to begin with. So I felt like people were going to say negative things no matter what. I felt like this was an unavoidable movie for it to reach the... Because everyone else I know loves like all the Marvel movies. This was one of the only ones... I mean, other than like Thor 2 or whatever. That kind of had the Thor 2...
Yeah, that's my favorite
kind
one.
of feeling where like I heard such mixed things from different people about it. Whereas with like Avengers, everyone's like, oh, it was great, and all this shit. So...
Yeah, it's definitely better than Thor 2. I mean, if you're saying any like stoicism was a fault of acting... I mean, she was an amnesiac soldier on an alien planet. She didn't know her real name. She didn't know what species she was. So
yeah, no. I guess
stoicism would come across. I think would be a normal response.
But it felt deadpan more so than that. Like Brie wasn't having a fun time. Like she was not cashing it in per se, but she didn't know exactly how to bring that across.
I felt. That's another thing I felt like. It's hard to tell whether people are not are splitting hairs at that point in terms of like, are they portraying, you know, stoicism or is it bad acting? That's always what's hard to do when you have to portray. You know what I mean? Do you look like Simple Jack, or do you do some Academy Award-winning acting, or is that the Academy Award-winning? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like. It's hard to tell at that point. But that is one of the things I did hear as a criticism, and I've heard tons of people defend it too, of course. But like, people did seem to harp on her acting, and I personally didn't think that critically of it until I heard all these other things.
I think it's not a bad movie by far. I think it's better than Thor 1. But that's just that's my thing.
So when does Natalie Portman come back into the picture?
Never.
Got him.
Actually, what if they brought Jane back as the female Thor?
That'd be dope.
That'd be great. She could pull it off.
That could be a thing.
I hope they do an A-Force movie.
That'd be cool.
I hope they do it like what they did with Amidala, where they couldn't tell that it's just the same person.
I would love to see Keira Knightley.
Yeah. Oh my god. I remember when I found that shit out, that shit blew my fucking mind.
Holy shit, you know what a great way to introduce X-Men to the MCU is? Avengers vs. X-Men.
God, no.
Yes. Give me Renegade Cyclops. Give me Cyclops the Terrorist.
Oh, it would be great as
I
Cyclops.
already hate Scott. James Marsden, even though he's like...
Ah, damn it, that's what I was going to say, James Marsden.
Just give him
from
the
Red
role.
Dead Redemption.
He wasn't given a shot.
He
should.
No, I think he played Scott pretty well. Like,
yeah.
Maybe that's just
the movies never gave him a shot.
My anti-Scott bias. but
Space Boy, Luther from Umbrella Academy.
I haven't seen
Yeah, no, yeah. But yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's Cyclops with a monkey body.
Dude.
Cool.
I want to see Cyclops with a monkey body. I want to see a monkey running around now shooting eye lasers. That's what I want to see.
I want Kelsey Grammer to only play Beast forever.
Dude, please. He was so good.
When he showed up at the end of Days of Future Past, I was like,
yeah, it was so fucking the best.
I'm
really
Dr. Hank McCoy, and I'm listening.
And speaking of listening, I'm sure you guys are tired of listening by now because we're just droning on and talking at this point. But, you know, those parts may or may not have been cut out. This part may or may not have been cut out. You'll never know. But other than that, anything else to wrap up on in terms of MCU thoughts before this becomes a tangent again?
They might know if they hear it.
There you go.
That's true. No, I got nil. I think pretty much got it all out there.
In comics, I ship Blobsy.
There you go.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but those of you comic people out there probably know exactly what that means, so this is why this is a thing. Appreciate Mario coming out here, doing the Correctionscast. We definitely need to be corrected.
Yep.
And that's why we also follow up on our own stories and make sure that we always do keep tracking these, because we do want to bring you guys accurate news.
Yeah.
You know, we're a mix of your average consumer's opinion, but at the same time also trying to deliver factual stuff, which is why all the stories we use on the main podcast are not I stay away from gossip and bullshit stuff. Rumors are sometimes okay depending on the context, but never ever really something that's just straight up off the wall, like, you know, made up shit. You know, I always fact check that shit, and if I do get something wrong, I go back and I make sure that everyone knows that we found out, and to let everyone else find out who may not have known.
Yeah, did you know that they give you a gun in Sweden if you're a citizen?
Okay. Jesus.
Oh, Lord.
All right, so where can our lovely listeners find you on social media, Mr. John?
You can find me at disasterman_music on Instagram or at Evil Dead Guy on Twitter.
Any projects coming up? Anything you want to plug? Show or anything coming up?
Yes, actually, I just recorded an EP last week with Vince the Wizard at the Fuzz Wizards on Instagram, and I do have a show for you San Antonio locals on April the 11th at Ventura.
So definitely go see that. Going to be good shit.
What
are you going by right now? Good in Disaster Man?
Disaster Man.
There you go. Mr. Mario, anything you want to plug? Any projects coming up, or anything you want to talk about, or where they can find you on social media?
You can find me at Assorted Bullets on everything. I don't know, I've been working, or might be working on my own thing sometime soon.
There we go. That'd be cool.
So I don't know.
I know that you and Tony have been wanting to do stuff, so we'll see where that goes.
Maybe.
Anything else?
That's about it.
All right, you can find me on most social medias at ZDRocker all together, and you can find the rest of my projects at SlimAsianEntertainment.com, and you can also find our podcast, all past episodes and eventually future episodes, on DisconnectedCast.com. And if you have any corrections to the corrections of the corrections, and you want to send us, or any questions or anything else, you can send that to us at disconnectedcastmail@gmail.com. Once again, that's disconnectedcastmail@gmail.com. Other than that, we will see you guys on Monday for the next proper entry at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Until then, we will see you guys. You have a good rest of the week.
Have a good week, yo.
Yeah.